Hey, yeah, I've got an RS Pro combination lock. I haven't seen one like this before, so let's get it open. So it's set to all zeros and it's open, and we're going to try and change the combination. I see that little tab on the shackle and how it goes down, up and down here. Doesn't seem to go down that much either. There's another tab around this side, so that's how you know where to push it down. Push it down there and it stays down with no spring, so I should be able to turn the wheels into a new combination, and I'm going to do that and not look. Just give them a really good shuffle back and forth and around, different wheels, different amounts. Okay, I'll just try and make sure they're not halfway between a number, just by making sure they click. I'm going to lift it up, turn it around and close it, and then shuffle the wheels again. Okay, and I'm going to put all these to 0 just because, and to prove that the combination has changed. Yep, it's locked. Now, hopefully I can decode this, because I haven't tried one of these locks before. I'm hoping that my techniques that I have shown in other videos, my various techniques, that at least one of them will work. So first thing I do is I'm going to tension the shackle as if I'm going to pull it open. I'm going to pull here and put some fingers either side, fingers and thumb. So I'm going to pull and have a constant tension, and then I'm going to turn and see what I can feel. Okay, just by turning different ones by different amounts, I felt the shackle click, and I felt some of these go into what we call gates, where it turns left and right a little bit, but it doesn't want to keep going while I've got constant tension on the shackle. I try and turn it this way, it doesn't. Try and turn it this way, it doesn't, unless I let go. Right, so that what that's telling me is there is a gate on 0 for this wheel, and that looks like 8.5 on this wheel, 9 on this wheel, and 9 on this wheel. Now, with some locks, and you get all sorts of different locks doing different things, either this is a sign that's a false gate, being halfway between two numbers. Either that, or when I changed the combination, I actually set it halfway between two numbers and I didn't realize. As I say, with constant tension, I can't move it out, but if I let go of some tension a little bit, turn a little bit, and then tension it again, and keep turning it, okay, it's clicked again, and it's clicked again halfway between two numbers. Okay, so that was like 8.5, then 1.5. Get to release tension, turn a little bit, tension again, and it's clicked, and it seemed to be a bigger click, and it's in a whole number 5 instead of halfway between two numbers. So I'm liking 5 maybe. Let's keep going since we've done the other numbers. Tension again, and it's clicked 8.5. So that was like, I think it was, what did we say it was? 8.5, 1.5, and I've moved one of the numbers. Okay, so 1.5, 8.5, 1.5, and 5. So what's the distance between 1.5 and 5? That would be well, that's 3.5, isn't it? 1, 2, 3.5. And what's the distance between 5 and 8.5? Again, that would be 3.5. And the distance between 8.5 and 1.5 is, well, 1, 2, 3. So 3 between 8.5 and 1.5, but 3 between those numbers and the whole number. Or I can just look for the whole number gate. That seems to work on that wheel. There's more than just one whole number on these wheels, because these are all in whole. Now they're all in whole numbers and gates, and the lock is still not open. So I'm still think that I might have set this halfway between two numbers. I don't know. Anyway, now they're all in gates and whole number gates. The next thing I'm going to do is to see how loose they are under tension. Okay, they seem, maybe this one's the loosest. I don't know if that's sort of going from 8.5 to 9. That's interesting. This one's going from sort of, that's interesting, because this was like from right there, 8.5 to 9, but this one is only just slightly before 9 and slightly after 9. Okay, slightly, is that slightly before and slightly after as well? Slightly before and slightly after, whereas this one has more movement, maybe, but when I say more movement, it's going from 8.5 to 9, which is a movement of a half. So maybe from here to here is half as well. That's interesting. Okay, I'm just looking at different things, so I don't know how this lock works. Maybe that's a total of a half, and maybe that is 2, but it's not very symmetric. This one's definitely not centered around 9. This one is more around 9. This one is sort of more before, just before 5, and the same with this. So let's try and see what we can feel. Either I'm looking for the loosest gate or the one that centers around a whole number. Okay, that's so what did I say about this one? Actually, now I'm looking at it again. It's got quite big movement, and it seems centered around 0. That seems yeah, maybe that one's good as well. This one can turn a massive amount, though I'm liking this one. I don't like this one. It's going from 8.5 to just 9. It's not centered around 9, so I'm going to release tension, turn it a bit, tension. Okay, so that's clicking here. And that's sort of more like half a number, halfway between two numbers. And the lock's open. All right, so when I was turning these wheels properly, they were like centered around 0, centered around 5, pretty much, centered around 9, pretty much, not too bad. But this one was not centered. It was going from 8.5 to bang on 9. It wasn't going, before 9 and after 9. So that's why I picked on this wheel to try and see if I could get a number that was centered, and I managed to do that, and the lock opened. So I think I eventually stumbled on the correct method for opening this lock. Cheers.